Boom,
part
we
of it
are
all.
live. Hey guys, we are live with Bianca Botelho. I did it right that time, right?
You did it right. Perfect. Yes.
I am excited to have her on the show today. She's a trooper. We've still got all these crazy things going on with Facebook, but we're going to keep going, right?
We are.
So
We're going to
I'm
keep
just going
going.
to look at my phone for a second and share it to my page.
Okay,
And if you
I'll
can
try
do
to do
the
the
same
same
thing,
here.
that would be great.
Yes.
Good morning. And I don't know if you're supposed to say happy Good Friday or if you're just supposed to say I'm a Good Friday person.
I'm a Good Friday person. But happy Passover to those
Happy
as well.
Passover. That's correct. So we
right,
are just sharing, people. We're not ignoring you, I promise.
No, we're not ignoring.
We're going to get to it. I'm a little dark right now, and I don't mean that in my sense of humor. I mean that in my oh, see, I didn't do what I said I tell everybody to do, which is turn it down. All right, so we are live. I can see it. Hey guys.
Okay.
It's, you know,
I'm trying.
You're trying to do the same thing. Good morning, everybody. Hey, Matt. Hey, Jenny.
I'm just going to move this for 1 second. Luckily, we have nowhere to go, right? Luckily, we have nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go.
We're not running out of the house.
On you. Tell me what's going on with you. How are you holding up?
I mean, I'm holding up pretty well. I'm a very positive person, and to begin with, I love life, you know, but this has been, like, I know you saw my Facebook, enjoying the journey through, what was it that I wrote on my
finding joy in the journey.
Yeah, we actually, me and my kids did that because everybody, I think now everybody's doing it, where they chalk the sidewalk.
Yes. Yes. I loved it.
Thank you. And so that's exactly what we're trying to do, is just find joy in this journey. Like I'm sure everyone else is, moms that are home with their kids. But I mean, I'm doing a lot of praying. I try to get up at 5:30 in the morning, a couple of days a week, and I meet with my neighbor, and we go to our, because, you know, well, wake up at 5:30, by 6, we go to our driveways, and then I go to her driveway and we're 6 feet apart, and we lay out our mats and we do a workout. So shout out to Nicole and Dana if they're watching.
You are motivated.
But I mean, it's not happening every day, you know, like it should. So what are you doing? What can you give me what should I be doing?
No, I love it. Wait, people are supposed to get to know you first. Nice trying to interview me.
Oh, okay. Is that how it goes? Good. Okay.
I like it though. No, I'm going to answer your question at the end. I will be happy to share that. Very good. You're the first person to ask me that live. So that kudos to you. All right, but a lot of people don't know you on the show. So I want them to know who Bianca Botelho is. So tell them a little bit about you, your background.
So I was born in Brazil, and I came to the United States when I was 8 years old. I didn't speak any English. That was back in 1988. I went to New Jersey because my mom married a Cuban New Yorker who was a teacher. And so we moved to Jersey. We had some family from my mom's side, so we wouldn't be completely alone. So we moved there. I think we lasted maybe 3 years. And then we moved to Orlando because of the weather, obviously. My mom was like, yeah, we've got to go to more. We come from a tropical country to Jersey. It's a bit of a shock.
What part of Jersey were you in?
So my family now lives in Point Pleasant, but at that time we lived in Freehold, and then we moved to Elizabeth because my stepfather was a teacher in New York, so we wanted to get closer to New York for his drive-in to the city. Yeah,
I was born in Bergen County, and I lived up in Bergen County for a long 11 years. 11 years. So I've been here since I was 11. When the earth
in Florida.
In Florida, in Orlando, yeah.
In Orlando.
So what did you do when you got here? How old were you? You were 8?
So when
No,
I
you were 8 when you went.
so I was 8 years old when I went to when we moved from Brazil to New Jersey, and then about I think I was like 13. So I lived on Chickasaw. Like I went to Liberty Middle School.
Me too.
And did you?
I did. I went to Liberty and I went to Colonial, and I used to have the Allstate
I went to
office
Colonial.
corner. I used to have the Allstate office corner of Chickasaw and Curry Ford in that
I know
Publix shopping
exactly
park.
that. I know that Allstate office because my friend, I think, owned it after you, if that makes sense.
Yeah, there were people that owned it after. I sold it. Hallelujah.
Okay, well, I won't
What a
mention names,
small
but
world. A small
small.
world.
Well, yeah, small world. So I did go to Colonial as well, Colonial High School. So I went from Liberty to Colonial High School, and I moved from there. Now we live in Seminole County. Now we're over here in Altamont Springs.
So how did you get to become in real estate?
So when 2003, I had got out of college, didn't know what I wanted to do. I did business marketing. I got a business marketing degree. I was working for a timeshare because my mom was the chief financial officer of the company. And so I was like, Mom, I just need a job. And then I got this job there, and timeshare wasn't really what I wanted to do. So I started working in the contracts department, really the cancellations department. And then, I started liking a little bit of like that part of it. And then my mom again, because my mom knows a lot of people, she said, well, this real estate developer is looking for someone just as an executive assistant or something. So, he's a smart guy. Why don't you go get some knowledge from him? So anyway, so he was a big real estate developer out in Kissimmee. I call him the mentor in my life for many reasons. So I worked with him, and he just kind of brought me to say, listen, at that time he was going to retire. I hope I'm making sense. And yeah, so he was like, you're going to have to get a real job. And at that time he was selling some things. And as his assistant, I could like show his commercial property. And he was like, you're like bringing me in these big contracts, and, you probably should go and really get your license for this. So I got my license, I think, in 04 or 05. And then, but I didn't start, I didn't hang up my license until 07.
Wow.
Great times. Yeah. And so
yeah, right at the right time.
Right in. And so 2007, I went in and I started with Watson Realty, and the market crashed.
What did you do when the market crashed? Did you
So,
obviously you stuck it out, or did you take a break for a little bit?
No, I stuck it out because I'm like, if I can make it to this market, I'm going to make it through any market. And so the advantage I think that I had at that time, because we all had to think outside the box, was I speak 3 languages. So I speak Portuguese and Spanish.
Okay, so Portuguese
and Spanish, because my husband's Colombian. So it's very similar too. And so I've always spoke a lot of Spanish.
You
some people, when they
no
hear me talk,
accent whatsoever. For coming here when you were 8 and not knowing the language, there's not a bit of any kind of accent at all.
Well, thank you. I do, and I speak fluent. I mean, and if I speak Portuguese, people don't like, if I'm talking to someone who's Brazilian, they don't say I have an accent in Portuguese. So that's a good thing. Well, I keep in touch with my family a lot. They come here, I go there. So we communicate a lot in Portuguese. Yeah.
It's very similar. That I know. I can hear Italian and listen to it, and all of those beautiful languages have a little bit of similarities to them.
True. They do. Yeah.
So you went through the crash, which we all did. And how were you able to make it through? Because I think people it's different, but comparing, you're having to figure out your survival skills right now, kind of like you did back then.
Yeah.
So what did you do to maintain when there wasn't anything to maintain? How did you continue through and push through that crazy time back then?
So I literally was selling $30,000 condos down 436 to investors. I mean, out of the country. I don't think I had any Americans that I was selling to, unless they were calling me to do a short sale. Um, so that's really what I was doing. I mean, till all those down 436 off of Pershing, off of Conway. I was selling those, like I said. I mean, they were selling for less than what cars were
It
for.
was crazy, right? Those are the ones
It,
that right before the crash, they were the like a lot of condo conversions. So they had the apartment
exactly,
buildings
condo
that they all of a sudden
conversions.
converted. Yeah, I remember that was
I
a
mean,
crazy time too. I remember people buying 8 or 9 of those at a time.
well, and that's how I made it, because they weren't buying one. They were like, "I'll just get 5 of those, please." I'm like,
Yeah,
"Sure."
please. So
I'm
what are you
like,
doing now for this? Because it's different, right? Because the market's still, we feel like the market is still solid. It feels solid
"Yeah,
right at this moment.
yeah,
What are you doing though different? I think a lot of people want to know. All right, so you're a successful independent contractor, real estate agent. What are you doing differently since it's hard? You can't meet in person
right."
with your clients, or you have to be at least 6 feet apart. You have to do a lot of things on Zoom. What are you doing different to kind of keep ahead of the game?
Yeah, so it's what you said. We're doing the virtual showings, and staying 6 feet apart. I feel that right now is a time that what I'm doing is just being a little bit more personable with people and not so salesy, if that makes sense. Um,
Absolutely.
I mean, it's not the time for that. And I think that's when people will remember, when, because I've had a lot of buyers that unfortunately have lost their job, but I'm sure they'll get their job back. Or, things will get better, and they're going to call me because they're going to remember, I wasn't that, I don't know. I just feel like right now is not a time to be so salesy. I don't know if I'm using the right word. I think
No,
it's just time.
salesy
I'm
is
just,
perfect.
okay.
I know
Yeah.
exactly what you mean. Yes, that's the perfect word.
Yeah. Just like, just check on people. That's what I'm doing. I'm checking on people, how they're doing. That's what I'm focusing on. I know that some of them want to put things on hold, and I get that. So we're having other conversations, if that makes sense. Um, you know, because
Absolutely.
they're worried, because they're coming to us and saying, "Hey, you're the real estate expert. What do you think is going to happen? Oh my God, is it going to crash? Is it going to this?" So, I try to change the conversation, because a lot of these people are really nervous. We're all in the same situation. So I think that's what I've been doing the last couple weeks, is just checking in, um, and not talking to, even on my Facebook. Like, I just don't want to do that. I don't know. That's my opinion and how I feel inside.
No, I love that. I think that I think that this is not the time to be LZ. So you're spot on that. I think people, excuse me, they don't want to be sold. They want to be
Yeah.
reassured. They want to know, they want to feel like the relationship's more important than the transaction, which it always should be. Excuse me. They want to develop that relationship. This is the time where people are really focusing on relationships, which I think is the benefit. And so you doing that with people is really really good. I see some people though that are still out there and it's all marketing, and all I can think of is how sad you have this amazing opportunity to develop relationships and really solidify your relationships, and all you're out there doing is being salesy, as you said, which is accurate.
Okay, Selzy. How do we spell that? Selzy.
Okay, I'll take it.
Whatever. I know. I mean, yeah, that's how I feel about it.
I love that. And how about personally? You said you go out in the some mornings at 5:30. God bless you, and you get up and you visit. You still have some sort of a social distance, at least some interaction. What about the times that you're not doing that? Are you reading more? Are you meditating?
I'm
People
spending more
are
time
telling me they're
definitely
taking
with.
online courses.
Well, I wish I had time for those things. I could probably add that on, though. Yes. I'm spending more time with the kids, because I've got a 6-year-old who's doing homeschool, and he goes to the Jewish Academy, which they're doing. I got to give them a shout out. They're doing such a great job. with homeschool, and they just put everything together so quickly because we didn't go into we went into homeschool like when everybody was on spring break. So like they put everything together like in 3 days and like up and running. And so I'm doing that, which that is a joke. My son.
How old is your son?
So he's 6. He's 6. But I mean, we're getting there. It's just, it's just a respect thing. Like he knows I'm not his teacher.
Right.
Yeah, like he
It's not
knows.
so hard. I mean, it's, my wife's a teacher, and so
Oh, well,
it's
thank you for
hard on
everything she
both
does.
sides. Oh, she'll appreciate. She's in the room, so she'll appreciate that. But yeah, I think it's this learning curve for everybody, the students, the parents, the teachers, trying to figure it out. And it's not a perfect system, but it's the only system we have. But we're all kind of learning. But for a
Yeah.
6-year-old, I would imagine it would be difficult because it's already hard for them to focus in general, and then to have to focus while they're at home where there's all these distractions. I would
Right.
imagine would be
Yeah, just
crazy.
sitting in front of a computer, I mean, there's only so much he can do sitting there. And the teachers understand that. I mean, it's kindergarten.
Right.
So, and I'm sure they'll, when they go into first grade, I've heard them talking about they'll just review the first few weeks would just be probably reviewing everything. And then I have a
I had a
14
whole
month
bunch of
old.
educators. Oh, you have a 14-month-old too?
I have a 14-month-old little girl.
Oh my gosh. See, I
Yeah.
need to
So
go look at pictures of that. That's awesome. That's a beautiful
so
age.
and she's been walking since she's 8 months. So I'm busy. Because usually I have a nanny usually, and shout out to her. My God, because she's not here. I'm here doing everything, which that's part of what I'm enjoying. I am enjoying that. Like I'm getting, because I do miss those moments when I'm out working in the field, out all day. So, yeah, I got to share this story really quick.
Please do.
So my 14-month old girl, is a miracle baby, and I had 7 miscarriages before I had her, and then I had a stillborn.
Oh,
And the
sorry.
reason, no, it's okay, because and now I have this beautiful little girl, and something that it's something else. It's off the subject, but something that I've been getting involved in before this happened was I was working with just like my doctor was always like, hey, if we have women that are going through this, can you be like someone that they can come and talk to just for, for the process of that they go through this anyway. So I was doing that with my doctor's office, and I was trying to get into doing that as like a side thing besides real estate, because it was something that made me feel good to help women have hope, that there is hope after miscarriages. But anyway, the point of that is I was in bed rest with her for 4 months. So I was telling my husband, I'm like, this quarantine, lockdown, whatever y'all want to call it, I can at least walk outside.
Yeah.
Still have a little social distance happy hour with my neighbor, because I mean, I was in bed for 120 days.
I mean, I did not know. That's why I love not planning anything for an interview, because I did not know that about you. And thank you for sharing that. I think it's amazing that you're helping those women. Stacey had 2 miscarriages between our second and third child. And the
I'm
first 2
sorry.
were nothing. Like, it was so easy. Thank you. I mean, but back then they didn't have the grieving process that we
Right.
seem to be more acceptable of now. It was like, oh, okay, sad, and then you're supposed to forget about it and move on. I can't imagine 7+ of that. So God bless you. That's it was taxing then. I remember the worst part of all, even worse, and Stacey will say the same thing, even worse than the surgery and our own, was telling our 2 older daughters about it afterward and explaining. So heartbreaking. But there's support now. There really wasn't support then. So what a blessing you are to those women, those families, because people just brushed it under the carpet back in the day. You just moved about your business and didn't really talk about it.
Yeah, like if it never happened, and we just hold all that inside, and it's hard for us women. I'm sure, I mean, for men too, but I mean, especially us, because our
I
body
agree.
goes through that. So yeah, it's something that I'm very passionate about, as far as, use the right word, supporting.
Yes.
And hopefully I can get back to that, because it was just something that I had just kind of started with my
It's a
doctor's
beautiful
office. And
thing.
yeah, yeah,
Beautiful
it
thing.
makes me feel good.
Good for
That's
you. I
for
mean, good
sure.
for you.
Just
I, I wish there had been someone for us. And it was funny because we talk a lot anyway. So we weren't the closed book about it. But it would make people feel so uncomfortable because
right.
you don't know how to respond to it. You don't know what to say. You say, I'm sorry. And of course, the worst thing that you could ever say to a parent that just lost a child, miscarriage, stillborn, is, oh, but you're young enough. You can still try. You can try for the next one. We had so many people tell us that, and I was like, okay, I want to wring your neck right now. They didn't mean it. They don't mean it badly, but it's still painful to hear that.
Right. Yeah, they don't know what to say, because and it's always hard because you don't know who you're talking to, and it could be that person that, it's so easy to get pregnant, and it's
Yeah.
they've never gone through it. And but now I feel like it's more of a subject that women are, like, open about and talking about it, which is great. Because holding that in is not good. It's not good.
No, it's not. What a beautiful. See, I had no idea. That's why I love these interviews. People just start talking, and I learn
Yeah,
so
and
much. I mean, how would I
I didn't think
have
about sharing it. It just came out.
I'm very glad you did. All right, so I have to ask you, what do you think is coming up for you and your market? What do you think is going to be different when we go back to whatever the our mixture of the new normal is from the old times? Are things going to go back exactly the same, or do you think we're going to have more of a mix of this and what we used to do?
I think it'll probably a mix. I don't think anything will be the same, if that makes sense. I don't know what the differences will be, but I think that us as agents, I think a lot of us have been in a business for a long time. I think we know that there is going to be a change. Luckily, we have technology, right? So we're ahead of the game to be able to give our clients a lot of what they need. Um, you know, I know it's going to be different, because people are losing their jobs, unfortunately. I'm just hoping that the turnaround. I just hope that the turnaround of things getting back will be a little bit sooner than later. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm praying for everybody. And then I don't know. This was a bit of a shock for me, that this whole how it happened, and I mean, this virus, what it has created. So I have to listen to some more experts to see what they've got to say.
Agree. I mean, I think people are hoping for the best, for the worst. I hope that's sort of where everybody's at. I don't think any of us prepared for it. Didn't really believe in the beginning, especially that it would impact us for so long. And I think that, the way I'll be interested to see how April goes. Be fascinated to see.
True.
I read somewhere online that Disney is starting to accept reservations for June 1st. So I don't know if that means we're looking at a May without any kind of contact or not. But it's this interesting journey. But I feel like we're adapting. We're doing the best that we possibly can, and
I
so
mean,
that's why I love
yeah,
having
we're
guests
adapting.
on you.
Yeah, I
So I have
mean,
to
like I
just totally off topic, off any topic, because I'm a foodie. Brazilian food. Where do you go in Orlando?
Oh gosh, international. You can go to Camila's on International Drive. You can go to Vitorio's. Have you been there? Or
I have not,
it's
but
it's
I've heard of
it's
it.
so I mean, it's by Texas de Brazil. Texas de Brazil is a little bit more expensive. It's amazing. But if you just want to go and have a quick lunch or something, a quick Brazilian buffet, it's Victorio's. It's right by it's on I Drive. And then there's this little hole in the wall over on Kirkman by the Walmart. And it's in a little shopping strip. It's next to the Five Guys. I'll have to send you a private message. But oh my
Please
God,
do, because
it's so good.
I'm always looking, and I'm also trying to help you've probably seen, I'm trying to help as many restaurants as possible that are doing curbside or that have adapted to that or aren't on Uber Eats or it doesn't matter, delivery or curbside. So I'm trying to broaden my horizons on Brazilian food. I had an amazing guest on, Fabiano Olmo, and he's got some really cool Portuguese dishes on his upcoming Easter menu, and just really good stuff. He's making great food.
Yeah,
So
he's probably gonna have some pão de queijo, the little cheese bread, pão de
yeah,
queijo,
I'm
and then the
pretty sure
picanha
that's
is
it.
The picanha is very popular.
It
Their
all looked good,
steaks,
and
picanha.
he made me a blueberry pie. I thought I would die. I think I ate the whole pie, honestly, Bianca, which is really sad. But it was so delicious. But he's so Dishes and Wishes is the name of his organization when he does a lot of deliveries. So I just am always curious when somebody comes from
Okay.
a different country or
Oh,
loves
that's good to know.
anything, loves good food. I figured you would know, and I love that you came off the top of your head with that. All right. You've been a joy to have on. I'm going to answer your question really fast because I'll get yelled at by the viewers if I don't. The one thing that I do in the morning every single day to get my day started is I know it sounds corny and cliche, but I wake up and before I look at my phone, I pray, but I also say 3 things out loud that I'm grateful for. And some days I don't feel like saying that at all. Some days I'm tired and exhausted, but I make myself, and it always sets the tone for my day. So that's what I do, just so you know.
That's really
All right,
nice.
so you've been a joy.
That's
Thank
really
you
nice.
so much, Bianca Botelho. I said it right. Please reach out to her. She's obviously an open book.
That's an inside.
But you're an absolute joy. Thank
That's
you
our
so much.
inside joke.
That's our inside joke. And look, your phone worked great.
Yes.
So there you go. It just depends on the connection, I guess. Everybody's is different. Yesterday I had somebody frozen for like 10 minutes of the show, but the vocals were great. And I just am telling people, because they went back and they said, why didn't you tell me, Ted? So that's why I'm telling every single person. If you go on a phone, you never know what's going to happen. So thank you so much. Have a beautiful Easter weekend.
You too.
Thank you.
Have an amazing day.
You too. Thanks so much, Bianca. Appreciate you sharing your story with us. Thank you.
Thank you for